Good morning, everybody, and welcome. This is our September 18th regular meeting of the Mason County Commission. We will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. Commissioner Drexler, would you do us the honor,
Why, thank
please,
you,
of
sir.
leading us?
I'd be happy to. I pledge allegiance to the flag and the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner District 1, Randy Netherland.
I'm here.
Commissioner District 2, Kevin Schutte.
Here.
Commissioner District 3, Terry Drexler.
Here.
Correspondence and organizational business. Do we have correspondence to come for us today, please?
Yes, Patrick Langen and Marianne Bannon sent in a letter regarding tax assessments, and Glenn Bridges sent in an application for the Lodging Tax Advisory Committee.
Excellent. Is there any other correspondence or organizational business to come before this body?
No.
Hearing none, we'll move forward to item number 5, which is our open forum for citizens' input. This is your opportunity to speak to the commission on any item that is not on the agenda. If it's on the agenda, we ask that you wait, and you'll be given an opportunity to speak then, and an opportunity to testify if you wish on that item. But if it's not on the agenda, please raise your hand, be noticed by the board, and we will have you come up front, speak to us, but please speak directly to the commission. And you'll have 5 minutes per person, 15 minutes limit for everybody. With that being said, is there anybody who would like to talk about an issue that is not on the agenda? Yes, please.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
On behalf of the League of Women Voters, we are having our candidate forum on October 4th from 6:30 to 8:30 at the new PUD building. And it's going to have 4 offices: sheriff, assessor, I wasn't prepared. Anyway, 4 offices. It's set up in a speed dating format. So we're going to have 8 tables, 2 for each person, or 2 for each office, and tables there will be citizens sitting that can ask any questions that they want to, and then the actual candidates will get up and move after 8 minutes. So it's kind of a fast and furious thing. It's really very effective, and it's a lot different than regular just debates because you can actually ask questions that affect you. So that's October 4th. Today, starting at noon at the Olympic College Library, we're having a discussion on each of the proposals, the initiatives, so 1631, 1639, and there's 2 others, I think. And we're also having the auditor. We couldn't fit him into our other schedule because there was only one running at the time that we scheduled it. Now there's 2. So Charles Rhodes and Patty McGuire will be speaking too for 90 seconds. Any questions?
I have a favor to ask,
Okay.
actually. I was speaking with the residents of Maple Glen
Okay.
assisted living last week, and talking to them about, they still have that voice in the voting. And their director asked me, who can I have help us help the residents go through their ballots? And I suggested the League.
Perfect.
And so I would just ask if you would mind reaching out to some of our assisted living facilities.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great idea. Thank you for that. Yeah. Perfect.
Thanks.
Okay.
And I think both of us had the opportunity to taste that adventure of the speed dating one.
Yeah.
It was the only one that
What did
was-
you guys think? Did you
I
like
loved
it? Did you?
I
Okay.
thought it broke up the monotony of, debates and forums traditionally have the same, kind of flow and format. And I thought this was just a fun way to mix it up a little bit, and I really enjoyed it.
Well, if you like challenges, it was fun because
Yeah.
it wasn't the challenges, just the people. I had my opponent's husband at one table.
Yeah.
I had her campaign manager at another. I had it's just the way it worked, but it was fun when it was done. Matter of fact, the harder the question, the more education that came along with it for the people that were at the table. So it actually was beneficial, I thought, for all of us, and to be able to hear the hard stuff.
Great. Yeah. We started it and we were thinking that that, but we were thinking also that it might be kind of tough because you might get pointed questions, but I think sometimes that's better than general.
I thought it was better, actually. The other spots, is it legislative by chance? other people?
Okay, so we were going to have a debate, our forum on September 29th, but we couldn't get the high school up in North Mason, and that was our legislative. We were going to do the 35th and the 6th district, but instead of that one, that's no longer, citizens can go to the one on the 26th, I think it is, sponsored by the Belfair Chamber of Commerce, and I'm not sure where that is, but
Okay.
you can look it up online.
24th at the hub.
There you go.
He will be there.
Yes, you will. Okay.
Thank you very much. Is there anybody else who would like to talk about anything that is not on the agenda? Hearing none, we'll move forward and go to the adoption of the agenda.
Mr. Chair, I move adoption of today's agenda as presented.
And I'll second.
It has been moved and seconded for the adoption of today's agenda as presented. Any additions or subtractions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, and the motion carries. Item number 7, approval of the minutes.
Mr. Chair, I move the approval of the August 27th and September 10th, 2018 briefing minutes.
Second?
Okay, it's been moved and seconded for the approval of the August 27th and September 10th, 2018 briefing minutes. Any subtractions or additions?
No.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, and the motion carries. Next up is item number 8, approval of the action agenda. All items listed under the action agenda may be enacted by one motion unless a commissioner or citizen requests an item be removed from the action agenda and considered as a separate item. We will read each of the items to you. You will be given an opportunity to ask a question that will help you to decide whether to take it off for a separate vote, but if you want to testify, please have it taken off and we'll give you an opportunity to testify. With that being said, Commissioner Drexler, will you read 1 and 2? Commissioner Schutte, will you read 3 and 4? And I'll read 5, 6, and 7, please.
Item 8.1, approval to authorize the Deputy Director, Utilities and Waste Management to sign a contract amendment extending the existing drop box hauling contract with Mason County Garbage Company, Incorporated, through July 31st, 2020. 8.2, approval to appoint Chad White to the Solid Waste Advisory Committee, effective October 4th, 2018 through October 4th, 2021.
Item number 8.3, approval of amendment number 4 of consolidated contract CLH 18253 between Mason County Public Health and the State of Washington Department of Health. Item 8.4, approval of warrants and treasurer electronic remittances. Claims clearing fund warrant numbers 805-8830 through 805-9045 in the amount of $422,747.21. Direct deposit fund warrant numbers 52733 through 53115 in the amount of $655,410.38. Salary clearing fund warrant numbers 7003877 through 7003914 in the amount of $944,381.05.
Item number 8.5, approval to transfer $60,000 from the Sheriff's Department salaries to Sheriff's Department operations in order to purchase 2 vehicles for the Sheriff's traffic. Item number 8.6, approval to appoint Marilyn Vogler, Commissioner District 3, and Randy Olson, Commissioner District 2, to the Mason County Housing and Behavioral Health Advisory Board for a 4-year term ending September 30th, 2022. Item number 8.7, approval for the chair to sign the personal property certificate and authorized agenda representative form for the local agency financing contract that purchased Mason County's communication system in 2016. This form is to be completed annually. Now these items have been read to you and the public. Is there anybody in the audience who would like to ask a question regarding any of the issues? Yes.
What is amendment 4, number 4 to the consolidated contract? Can you give me like a little synopsis?
So we have $48,453 to be used for emergency preparedness and public health emergency response. $1,500 for on-site visits of children who have been referred to us for elevated lead levels, and that's the Childhood Lead Poisoning Prevention Program. The Maternal and Child Health Block Grant has an increase of $67,694 for public health to continue working in the children with special health care needs and maternal child health. The Office of Immunization and Child Profile, it changes the funding cycle. It's promotion of immunization to improve vaccination rates, again, changing the funding cycle, and a prescription drug overdose prevention program providing $75,000 for ongoing prescription drug overdose prevention and increased outreach to persons with substance abuse disorder. Many times, the budget impacts, this increases the budget to $192,647 for both the 2018 and 2019. A budget amendment has been included to adjust the 2018 numbers, and the 2019 budget will include these funds. And so basically, these are pass-through monies from the state predominantly. And I got to tell you, we have a general contract, a major contract, and then this thing gets amended, 15 times a year. Another $1,500 will be available, or a change in the scope of work. And so it's called a consolidated contract with the state, and we consistently do updates to it.
Okay.
Does that answer your question? Okay, is there any other questions for anybody in the audience? Is there any items anybody would like taken off for a separate vote? Commissioners, any comments or any items you'd like taken off?
No.
Okay, I will entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move approval of today's action agenda items 8.1 through 8.7.
And I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded for the approval of the action agendas as presented, 8.1 through 8.7. Any further comments or discussion?
Well, I just want to point out, 8.6, the appointment of 2 citizens to our Housing and Behavioral Health Advisory Board is going to help bring in some separate voices into how these monies, we have 2 separate funds or fee and taxes that are for those 2 purposes. And these 2 citizens will then help a group of elected officials and department heads, I believe, help determine how those monies will be strategically spent over the next few years to hopefully synergistically work on both housing and behavioral health in a way that's collaborating together.
I'll piggyback on that. You know, it's very much appreciated that they would volunteer their time and take their time to do it. There's a lot of committees and a lot of different organizations that are connected with the county where we use that opportunity to get the public's input, their ideas, and sometimes solutions. And I just want to say it's very much appreciated, and there's more if you want to be involved or if you would like to do something to help the county, grab one of these boards and committees.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have anything, Commissioner?
No.
Okay, it's been already moved and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 The motion carries. Next up, we have other business, department heads and elected officials. Are there any department heads or elected officials? Hearing none, we'll move forward to item number 10, which is public hearings, and we have none. Board reports and calendars. Commissioner Drexler, would you lead us? Commissioner Schutte, and then myself.
So last week we had a full day out for me on the Olympic Region Clean Air Authority. We had a finance committee, and we took a first blush at the next budget. And then we had our regular business meeting, and then did a tour of the Grays Harbor Energy, which is being contracted by the a utility or an energy commission of some sort. They are contracting Orca to do their air quality monitoring, and it was interesting. It's the first time I'd ever seen a natural gas fed energy producer facility in which they actually take the water and steam and then create the energy, and it creates quite a bit of energy, and it seems to me like a very efficient way to do our energy potentially. As I said earlier, spoke to the citizens of Maple Glen and presented them with the proclamation of National Assisted Living Week. Had a meeting of the Thurston Mason Behavioral Health Organization for agenda setting. We had our briefings yesterday. I was able to attend the Sierra Pacific mill dedication, and it was a very good event with quite a few wonderful people there speaking to the strength of that mill now. And it's an interesting fact that I picked up was that Sierra Pacific very quickly came into Washington State and is now the #1 producer of lumber in the state. And I think that has a lot to do with their willingness to invest heavily in their mills into state-of-the-art technology. Following today's commission meeting, we'll have a meeting of the Mason Transit Authority, have a meeting of the Lewis Mason Thurston Area Agency on Aging, and then our Citizens Budget Advisory Committee, and they will be taking all the knowledge and information they've received up to this point now and start working on recommendations as outlined in their charter. We'll have the business meeting of the Thurston Mason Behavioral Health, and then I will be going to Ellensburg for the Washington State Association of Counties board meeting, and I'll be sitting in on the Legislative Steering Committee meeting, and we'll back here on Monday for briefings.
Mr. Chair, a couple of items from last week. One, had a tremendous meeting of the opioid stakeholders group out at Alderbrook. Appreciated them being a good host, a welcoming host for that group. A lot of this momentum is coming directly out of a lot of the efforts of folks up in the North End, and Chief Bo Bakken in particular has really worked hard to continue the work that began 2 years ago at the summit that was down here at Shelton High School. And the room was packed, and there was a lot of enthusiasm for solving this issue in our community, and I just really appreciate everybody coming together on that. Also attended the State Building Code Council meeting last week, continuing to work on the 2018 updates to the building code. There are going to be some changes there that, as with anything, some good and some bad. We continue to work. One of the items, and I mentioned this to the commissioners yesterday in our briefings, but we have a push from the state, the executive branch, to handle more of the workload on mental health issues in our local communities. And Mason County and Shelton is helping to pick up that task by having the triage and detox center here in downtown on Coda Street. That's great. Community-oriented treatment is wonderful. However, we have another part of the state government that says you need to do things that increase cost and delay projects like this by having separately fire-rated rooms and a lot of issues with codes and things like that coming from the Department of Health. And so we're trying to find a balance on the Building Code Council of how we can help meet this need and protect public safety, people's lives, which is always important. So we're continuing to work and see what that balance is at the state building code level, and I'm hopeful that we can find a solution that helps keep these projects in budget and gets them opened in a timely manner so that we can get people the treatment that they need where they need it. Also had a chance to attend the mill dedication yesterday at Sierra Pacific, just as Commissioner Drexler said, just a tremendous showing for our community. It's really exciting. I think the theme, the mantra yesterday was Sierra Pacific has invested heavily in this community, and that's a state-of-the-art mill that isn't going anywhere for a while. And so those are good living wage jobs that are going to be here in our community, and really appreciate the efforts of everybody, particularly at the city for helping make this a reality as they came online here over the past couple of years. Going forward this week, have a meeting with Jerry Houth out of Public Works, talk about a couple of issues, and then our Mason Transit meeting later today, followed by a Criminal Justice Working Team meeting, Hood Canal Coordinating Council. Then I'll be sitting down with Todd Parker and Lydia Buhite over in Public Health and Housing to talk about some items. I'll be at the Chamber's State of the Community lunch on Thursday. Have a ribbon cutting here downtown at John L. Scott. And then the Legislative Steering Committee with the State Association of Counties, I'll be calling in likely to that, but I may show up, so we'll be safe and say that there's a potential there. And then I also may be at the North Mason Community Voice on Monday evening for their forum. And then back for briefings and meeting.
All right, for me, we all attended the Housing Behavioral Health Board interviews. I also went up and met with Public Works, had a law library meeting, meeting of the ARC, opioid stakeholder, as was mentioned, EDC Economic Development Council meeting. I met with another candidate for commission again. I met with one of the chiefs from the sheriff's department. I want to make a comment on that. It was actually very wonderful. A couple things have happened. It used to be a rule, if I was going to meet with them for the last so many years, it would be 5 to 7 people that would show up. And it'd be me versus them. Everything seems to have changed. The last 2 meetings I've had have been one-on-one, and they've been very, very productive, very nice, enjoyable meetings. It doesn't mean you always disagree, but there's been a lot of respect shown both ways, and I just want to say a thank you for that change. It's been very enjoyable, and I very much appreciate it as a commissioner. Let's see. I also met with the building department in regards to North Mesa School District and all the projects that they have going, and I appreciate our staff and all the work they do to help them and to help us close out a bunch of issues that have been going on for years. We have a meeting with Mason Transit Authority. I will be attending the Hawkins Middle School, I think it's called Papa Bear. It's a thing where Papa Bear is something where you get together and they teach you how to be leaders and mentors for the kids, and give you an opportunity to help out in the schools, but at the same time, kind of like a Big Brother system, it sounds like, and I look forward to that. It's supposedly sweeping the country, and it's very helpful. North Mason Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors meeting. I will also be attending the Chamber's State of the Community. Don't know whether or not we have an audit committee meeting. It sounded like we did. I have a Monarch fundraiser for Monarch and Tumwater. I have a Peninsula Regional Transportation Organization meeting. There's a soup cook-off up at Trails in Lake. Please come on Saturday and bring your soups and compete. There's briefings, North Mason Community Voice. If you're there, I will be there with you. Also, Board of Health meeting, and we have a budget workshop before our next meeting. With that being said, is there anything further to come for this commission?
No.
No? Okay, we're at the end of our agenda. If there is no objections, I will adjourn. Okay. Hearing none, we're adjourned. Thank you.